Good evening. Tool theft is a growing problem that's destroying the livelihoods of more and more tradespeople, some of whom don't feel like they've had any justice. Well, today, the extraordinary organisation behind the crime was laid bare, with the Met revealing it's recovered the biggest stash of stolen tools ever found in the UK, compared to an Aladdin's cave. The £2 million haul was found in Ilford by using tracking devices that had been fitted to the equipment. Our correspondent Simon Harris reports.
This area is being treated as Zone 1.
Inside a terraced house in East London, an extraordinary haul of stolen tools in room after room.
And this area is being treated as Zone 2. This area is being treated as Zone 3.
The Met said it was one of the largest collections of stolen tools ever recovered, estimated to be worth £2 million. The police raid came after a construction firm reported the theft of expensive equipment from a site at Tilbury in Essex. Some of it had been fitted with a tracker, which led detectives to a house at Hickling Road in Ilford.
You're in that address. I suspect that you are one of the people that are handling those stolen tools, OK? So you do not have to say anything, but you may have...
Police arrested 2 suspects at the house and a third at another address where more tools were found.
I don't know who you are. Everybody gets it, OK? But they're just going to go at the front, all right?
Then began the huge task of clearing the house.
They were here for about 7 or 10 days, I'm not sure, roughly 7 or 10 days. But there's a big lorry park here every day, just loading up the tools, unloading it, coming back, just going on like that. They were here 24/7, police.
Shu is a gas engineer and victim of tool theft turned campaigner. He was asked by the police to help find the owners of the stolen tools.
It was Aladdin's cave, honestly. There was room after room after room which led into all these tools, and we thought there was only 5 zones, so they had to split the whole place. There were that many tools, and then going from the back of the garden they discovered another room, which was again full of tools, and that room led to another room that was full of tools. It was amazing just to see the amount of tools that were there, and I would put a value, I'd say over 3 million, but they have to be a bit conservative with it, and they put a value of 2 million on it.
Last year, ITV News followed police investigating tool thefts as they raided car boot sales in London and the home counties. These are often used by thieves to dispose of their stolen goods.
In particular, we're worried about the rise of boot sales and the illegal selling of tools at boot sales. That's normally where they turn up. So we have tools being stolen from people's vans overnight, stolen from building sites, and then ending up at boot sales. That's why the government needs to do more.
Detectives say the suspects are thought to be part of a criminal gang selling stolen tools online to customers in the UK and Europe. They've been released on bail. Police are now trying to reunite some of the 10 lorry loads of tools with their owners. Simon Harris, ITV News, Ilford.
A gross misconduct hearing against the officer involved in the shooting of Chris Cabba is being paused. Mr Cabba was shot dead by a police officer, Martin Blake, in Streatham Hill in 2022 after a police chase. The Independent Office of Police Conduct says it's waiting for a legal change before proceeding. The Cabba family say they are devastated by the decision. A Russian man has been found guilty of assault after Donald Trump's son Barron told police he witnessed the attack during a video call. Matvey Rumiantsev attacked the victim in London on January the 18th last year while she was on the phone to Barron. A 16-year-old boy has been charged in connection with a fire that left a 15-year-old girl dead in Beckton. Tiffany Regis died after the incident on Tollgate Road in April 2023. The teenager has been charged with manslaughter, arson and arson with recklessness and will appear at Stratford Magistrates Court in February. Next tonight, take a look at this video footage of a ULEZ camera exploding. It's the flash and then a cloud of smoke on the right of your screen. Here it is again. Well, this was the work of Kevin Rees from Sidcup in December 2023. Today, he was found guilty of causing an explosion likely to endanger life. Will Tallis is here. Will, how did he do this?
Yeah, so essentially, Yasmin, officers say Kevin Rees made a homemade bomb out of a metal cylinder filled with explosive powder, and it was on the evening of December the 6th, 2023 that he drove to Shuttle Close in Sidcup, planted the device and lit a fuse, as you can see here. The explosion damaged cars and buildings up to 100 metres away, including a child's bedroom. The Metropolitan Police said it was miraculous that nobody was killed or seriously injured, but you can see the extent of the damage in some of these pictures we're showing you now. So you may be asking, why did he do this? Well, during their investigation, counter-terrorism police found social media posts by Kevin Rees where he talked about ULEZ cameras and actually encouraged people to damage them. And when officers searched his home, as well as stun guns, they found materials that can be used to make explosives, including bags of aluminium powder and iron oxide and chemicals in his loft. Well, we know, Yasmin, that ultra-low emission zones are a very divisive issue. We've reported them a lot since they were introduced in 2019 when Boris Johnson was mayor, but obviously this takes opposition to them to new extremes. And in the words of the Metropolitan Police, Kevin Rees showed a complete disregard for the welfare and safety of the people who live in the area at the time of the explosion, all because he was unhappy with the ULEZ scheme. Well, Kevin Rees will be sentenced at Woolwich Crown Court at a later date.
OK, Will, thank you. The number of e-bike and scooter fires hit a record high of 206 in the capital last year, with 2 people losing their lives to them. The number of incidents is up by 20% compared to the previous year and means that on average there's around 4 of the fires a week. The majority of these were caused by e-bikes as opposed to scooters, with the fire brigade warning of a spike in DIY conversion kits that lack sufficient safety regulation.
Unfortunately, what we're seeing is poor quality lithium-ion batteries in the UK. We're seeing incompatible chargers being used. We're seeing modified e-bikes and e-scooters. If a lithium-ion battery fails in an e-bike, e-scooter, it does so with an incredible amount of velocity.
Now, they're calling it a fight to protect our past. Campaigners, including the actor Griff Rhys-Jones, have accused Network Rail of trashing Liverpool Street station's heritage. They're pushing an alternative redevelopment, but Network Rail told us their plans will protect its Victorian features while meeting the growing needs of passengers. Liverpool Street is now the busiest station in the UK. Jay Akbar has been looking at the competing plans.
There are 2 competing visions for the future of Liverpool Street. This one by Network Rail is an overhaul. Period features will stay, the facade won't. Another by a renowned architect promises to address its many issues while preserving it completely. It's been presented as a battle between modernisation and heritage, but there's more to it than that.
So Ushma, under your plans, the Victorian architecture stays?
Yes, 100%. We're only touching less than 40% of the 1990s roof, and all of the Victorian architecture columns all remain perfectly intact.
Network Rail says its plan, while extensive, is needed to address overcrowding and accessibility.
The maintenance of the roof is undergoing small overhaul, but at the moment that's because the fabric of the station is failing. It's leaking, it's not safe. So we are working quite extensively to look at a comprehensive package to restore the station.
The debate is over how that should be done.
Network Rail's renovation is expected to cost around £1.5 billion. They say the station will remain fully operational throughout the 5-year renovation, and as you've heard, they've promised not to touch the Victorian architecture. But there's been a counter-proposal put forward by architect John McCaslin. He says it can be done in half the time, with half the money and with zero demolition.
And no 20-storey building on top of the station. It's been welcomed by the Liverpool Street Station campaign group.
Hello, I'm Griff Rhys-Jones.
Spearheaded by actor and presenter Griff Rhys-Jones.
What the city needs, those committee members need, is the courage not to listen to a PR splurge from Network Rail, which has cost millions to produce, but to listen to their own consciousness and say, do they want Liverpool Street Station to retain its fantastic quality at the moment, which is a restoration which works, or do they want to trash that forever?
His group argue there can be a non-invasive solution.
Network Rail have always said their option is the only option, but this introduces something which perhaps questions that. And what it would allow is the station concourse, which we see behind us, to remain intact.
It all builds to a planning meeting in 2 weeks, which could shape the future of this London landmark. Jay Akbar, ITV News.
OK, still to come on the programme.
I am watching a master at work, and I'm not just saying that because she can hear me. She's making London sing, and I'll introduce her very soon. I'm here on the blue and white carpet here in Leicester Square for the premiere of the film Crime 101, where we'll be hoping to get a glimpse of the stars Chris Hemsworth and Halle Berry.
But first, she worked as a nurse in hospitals around the city, served as Bishop of London for almost a decade. And today, Dame Sarah Mullally became the first woman Archbishop of Canterbury. Taking up the role, she said she welcomed greater scrutiny, a reference to the controversy that dogged her predecessor. Here's Cafe Patter.
There is a new Archbishop in town, a woman of many firsts.
Archbishop Sarah, we welcome you. We welcome you.
Before the cloth came calling, she was already making history. First, as the youngest chief nursing officer for England after completing her training in St Thomas Hospital. Then, in 2018, she was the first ever female Bishop of London. And now, she's done it again. Dame Reverend Archbishop of Canterbury.
People may find my appointment as a woman difficult in the church. And what I hope to do is to be able to provide a space where we can, I can offer hospitality to people, where I can listen to what their concerns are.
As impressive as her ascent has been, her new role isn't without challenges. For starters, there's the decline in number of Christians. In London, for example, only 40% of the capital identifies as Christian. Even lower is the percentage of Anglicans, coming in at 33%. Then you have reputational issues brought about by her predecessor, Justin Welby, and his handling of child sexual assault complaints, something Mullally has spoken candidly about.
Our history of safeguarding failures have left a legacy of deep harm and mistrust. And we must all be willing to have light shone on our actions, regardless of our role in the church.
Even with Mullally's promise to clean up the church, she herself isn't without controversy. In recent weeks, there have been allegations that she forwarded an abused victim's email to the same priest who was being accused. However, the Diocese of London, the region to which she belonged to at the time, says there is no outstanding complaint against her. And so she embarks on her journey of greater leadership, with a promise to lead as Jesus did, with faith and humility. Kath Opata, ITV News.
Raheem Sterling is leaving Chelsea by mutual agreement, bringing to an end 3.5 seasons with the club. The 31-year-old hasn't played for the Blues since May 2024, training alone and being kept apart from the rest of the first team. The club said it wishes him well for the next stage in his career. The dawn of driverless taxis looks ever closer, with the firm Waymo unveiling its robo-taxi at the Transport Museum tonight. They're already out mapping the roads and underground safety trials, which are backed by the government. And let's find out what's on the evening news with Mary.
Coming up at 6:30, Storm Chandra continues to cause chaos in parts of the country. In Somerset, a major incident's been declared, with some river levels hitting record highs. New plans to ensure vets have to be upfront about costs, the biggest industry shake-up in 60 years.
It's commitment to the concept of harmony.
We are nature ourselves. We are a part of it, not apart from it.
And Royal First, a film premiere in the grounds of Windsor Castle. Would you join me for those stories and more at 6:30?
We're going to talk to Sally now. Sally, I think you've been out in some gorgeous landscapes today, haven't you?
Well, I have, but not as gorgeous as the ones I've seen. So I was in one beautiful place today because I was with a woman who is the most gorgeous artist, and even though it's grim old January, she makes it look wonderful and beautiful. And she's got a new exhibition at the Garden Museum. So I went to catch up with Melissa Scott Miller and see some of her fabulous little London gems. Let's take a look. Lovely. So London and gardens, you make London sparkle.
Oh, thanks.
Is that your mission?
I don't think it's not really a mission, but I'm trying to paint exactly what I see. But I did realise that once I get into it, I do find myself sort of beautifying it a bit, you know, so thinking, oh, make that, you know, brighter. And
Melissa Scott Miller captures the beauty of London in a beautiful way. And each London landscape is a little world of its own.
I like to sort of tell the whole story, and I feel it's important to put every little tiny bit in.
Right.
Like I wouldn't like to think somebody came along and said, oh, I always sit on that bench and she's left it out. You know?
Yes, they'd be heartbroken, wouldn't they?
It's quite important.
The pressure to get it all in.
Her new exhibition of London's parks and gardens has just opened at the Garden Museum, and she seems to spot the things so many of us ignore, like here in the little-known Phoenix Garden of the West End.
Because a lot of people come along when I'm painting, they say, sometimes they even say, like, where is that? And it's like, they haven't noticed, you know.
That's extraordinary.
And a lot of times people say, oh, you've made it look much nicer than it is, which I haven't really, but I think it's because they're not properly looking.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
A Londoner born and bred, the city is Melissa's back garden, a perfect fit for the Garden Museum.
I personally have been a fan of Melissa's for quite a long time, and that's how the exhibition came together. A very simple message on Instagram that Melissa replied to instantly and very enthusiastically. I think it captures an aspect of London that we all know and love, whether that's a backyard or a park. Melissa manages to paint them in a way that feels familiar to all of us.
Melissa also gave me a wonderful insight into the secret life of an artist in London.
Wanted to spy on someone, it'd be a really good cover to be standing there painting. Because you hear all sorts of conversations, people end up like ignoring you. The other day I had a conversation and I thought, oh really, I identify with what they're saying.
How interesting, so you've got that little unknown window into people's lives that's far beyond the canvas as an artist in London.
If only I could paint, hey? The exhibition is open now, and a timely reminder that it won't be winter forever.
Now, from some gorgeous London landscapes that did look a little bit chilly, we're going to take you to sun-drenched California now via the red carpet in Leicester Square, because the stars are out for a gala screening of heist thriller Crime 101. Here's Chris Hemsworth making Halle Berry an offer she can't refuse.
I came here to make you a business proposition. I've worked at the same company for 11 years. You're a VP when you should be a partner. Those high-value items your company insures, I occasionally make them disappear, and no one gets hurt.
I wouldn't die for an insurance company. Get in.
Hi, Helen.
Well, we're here on the blue and white carpet here in Leicester Square, and I'm sorry to say it's just me here. I'm sorry, Yasmin, you have to make do with just me. We are waiting for the stars to arrive, and we're hoping that that could be at any moment, but we are here for the premiere of Crime 101. Now, it might be set in the sunshine of LA, but it's certainly on the gritty crime underworld that's happening there, and it's about three people's stories whose worlds collide. Now, that is an insurance broker, a thief, and a police officer. Now, there might be plenty of car chases in it, but it's certainly more of a psychological drama, and it stars Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, and Mark Ruffalo. So, an all-star cast, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you an interview with some of them in the late news later this evening.
Listen, Helen, I would love to see you on the blue carpet anytime. Helen, thank you. Heat from the River Thames could be used to warm London's landmarks as part of an energy-saving scheme. Under the plans, a water pump will transport heat through underground pipes, allowing buildings and homes to switch to low-carbon heating. It could start by saving the same amount of carbon as taking 10,000 cars off the road. Let's just have a reminder of our top story in London tonight. The Met has recovered what is believed to be the largest stash of stolen tools ever discovered in the UK after officers uncovered a £2 million haul in Ilford. A construction firm reported that high-value equipment had been stolen from a site in Tilbury in Essex. Using a tracking device fitted to the equipment, officers were able to trace the stolen goods to a property in Ilford on Wednesday, the 14th of January. Sally's still with me in the studio. Sally, it's still January, but we're nearly there.
Oh my goodness, it goes on and on and on, doesn't it? Yeah. So it's been a bit grim, bit on the wet side. Normally by this point in January, we'd have had 87% of the monthly rainfall. How much do you reckon we've had, Yasmin?
I think it was so terrible, 95.
161. So we've had our quota plus another 2/3.
We're done then.
On top. Yeah, that's it. No, well, I wish we were done. Do you know what? It's not too bad. There are bits and pieces of rain around. So it's like, keep your umbrella to handy, keep an eye on the forecast and keep everything crossed. Here we go.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again. I hope you've had a lovely day. I'm a bit concerned about that little duck there sliding around. Anne Willow looks a bit sick of the January weather, doesn't she? Well, it's nearly February. Don't worry too much. Now, we have got some fog around in places tomorrow, so not the most beautiful start to the day. Into Friday, there's going to be rain at times. That's beginning and the end of the day. Hopefully, you'll get some drier weather in the middle. And for the weekend, quite cloudy, but still the risk of some showers. Let's take a look at the pressure chart and you can see what the problem is. Well, it's this low pressure and one after the other, those systems keep heading our way. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but yes, there is rain at times and particularly some overnight on Friday. So let's take a look at the detail. You can see outside tonight, there are some clear skies, but there's also some low cloud edging in and then some fog forming. And because those temperatures dropping down, some of it might be freezing fog. And in a few spots, there'll be some pockets of frost around as we start the day tomorrow and indeed overnight. So it is going to be quite chilly for tomorrow morning and a bit murky and dull, particularly if you've got any of that fog. So careful if you're driving. And we do keep a lot of that cloud as we go through tomorrow. The odd break here or there, even the odd light shower. But for most of us, it'll be a dry day. And those temperatures with a bit more cloud, maybe a degree down, highs of 7 to 8. It's about average for the time of year. For the evening, if you're heading out, it's looking dry initially. Overnight, depending on how late you're out, we have got some rain moving through, so a damp start for Friday. There'll be some dry weather in between before the next system moves in later on Friday. Cheerio.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
And that's it from us. The evening news is next with Mary, but for now, from all of us, do have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.